Hello everyone, last week we spoke about some cool missing units for each of the races in Warhammer 1, and I figured that in this video we'll do the same but for Warhammer 2. These videos are quite fun because it lets me go down memory lane and we can talk about some pretty cool stuff showcasing how many races are still missing some pretty damn cool units. So in this video, let's do just that. A quick note before we actually begin. I know I haven't been posting a lot lately. I've been finishing off that Bretonnia project, which is effectively done, so hopefully I'll be able to showcase that for you guys either at the end of this week or at the start of next. 4 months of basically non-stop work, but I'm pretty happy with it, so yeah. But before anything, a big thank you to our sponsor, Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a platform where you'll be able to buy games at discounted rates, even those that haven't released just yet. Get yourself some pretty sweet discounts like 40% off Expedition 33 or 23% off for Doom the Dark Ages. I picked up Oblivion Remastered here for 22% off. It's really fun and it's probably a big reason why I haven't been so active with videos lately. Not gonna lie, it's really nice reliving my childhood. Not only that, but we do have a monthly giveaway going on. Win the game of your choice. All you have to do is click on the link in the description below, sign up, you don't even have to make a purchase. It's a monthly giveaway. This is a company that I've been working with close to a year now, and I'm hoping that the relationship does continue because, honestly, I've been using their services myself. Warhammer's getting pretty expensive lately, so I'm trying to get a good deal on video games because I still want to play some newer games. A big thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Now let's return to our regularly scheduled programming. So we're going to start off with the High Elves because I really do think that they're going to be in the next DLC, and really there's a few different options. The one I'm going to go for in this video is the Lothan Skycutter. Now I know some people might be saying the Merworm and stuff like that, which I expect too, but the Lothan Skycutter has a special place in my heart because it is absolutely awesome. This is a bolt thrower that flies. It makes it very, very agile, very good for mobility. Dark Elves have the Scourge Runner with a bolt thrower, which makes them quite cool, but the High Elves have a flying one, which makes them even faster. You can also get characters mounted on them too. They were awesome on the tabletop. The fact that they also had a great eagle too meant that, yeah, you could put them into combat, no problem. That means that in the game, they're going to be quite good for that too. Harass the enemy with flying artillery pieces and then just charge right in. You should be able to cycle charge without too much of a problem. And again, flying artillery, very, very useful and still faster than the Cathayan ones, which are pretty slow because the balloons are slow. Alright, Lizardmen, so I'm going to go left field here. A lot of people are going to be going with the Thunder Lizard and stuff, but I'm going to talk about the Colchians, because technically Colchians can be 2 units. These are basically giant terror birds, but back in the day you could have skinks riding on them too, which was kind of cool. This was, I think, like 2nd edition or something? They didn't really last a long time in the lore, but they're still mentioned with the whole Colchian plains, and they still exist. They've been mentioned by Cubicle 7. I would like this. I think some skirmish cavalry would be very nice for the Lizardmen, if the Lizardmen ever get any attention. It doesn't seem like it right now. But yeah, this means that you can have some fast-moving skirmish monsters and then have some skinks mounted upon it with blowpipes or whatever. Maybe even go back into the earlier days and give them spears and bows. It's always great when a DLC brings a long-lost miniature back, and to be honest, it's going to be a long, long time until we see the Lizardmen back in Warhammer the Old World, if the rumors are all true, so why not bring them back to Total War? Have a little bit of fun. Skirmish Cav will also be fun because, you know, the Cold One Riders are good, but they're more for shock. It would just be adding a little bit more utility to the Lizardmen, who desperately need any sort of help. Please, Creative Assembly, if you're listening, a rework at some point would be wonderful. It doesn't need to come with a DLC. Okay, Scaven, so I think everyone's kind of expecting this eventually, especially since we're starting to get into the, end time situation, which means that we are likely going to get Storm Fiends at one point. Now, the Storm Fiends would be very, very cool because it's not just one unit. If Creative Assembly really want to go full ham on it, it's technically 6 different types. The Doom Flares, the Shock Gauntlets, the Warpfire Projectors, the Wind Launchers, the Rattling Cannons, or the Grinder Fists. I'd love to see it done in that regard. You could have 6 different types, or a proper hero squad with all of them, but I think that would be way too complicated considering all the different types of ammo and weapons. So, yeah, groups of 6 different units, I guess, works very, very well. The thing with these units is they're supposed to be like really, really augmented rat ogres, much more than even the mutant rat ogres, and they've got a variety of different weapons. Essentially, everything that you can get in terms of weapons teams transfers to this. They should be a heavy elite version. They were horrendously overpowered back in the day during the end times. I'm not sure how they work in the Age of Sigmar, mostly because I just flat out refused to play Age of Sigmar back in the day. It's better now, but I'm not playing Scaven because they're staying on squares. For those of you who hate fighting the Scaven already, considering that their weapons teams are very, very strong, if you hate fighting them now, you're going to absolutely despise them when the eventuality kicks in that we see Storm Fiends. I don't know how they're going to be able to balance these too much, but then again, end time stuff wasn't really too well balanced. But just for one example, think about the ones with the rattling guns, right? Each of them have 3 guns, 1 per arm and 1 on the chest. They are very fast moving because the rat ogres would move fairly quickly, but they fire at an extremely high rate. So not only are they mobile, and even more so than the rattling guns normally, but after that, they can easily slam into enemy lines and beat everyone to death. Tomb Kings is a no-brainer, but I very much doubt that we'll ever see it. The Khemric Titan is a very large unit. It never actually had a model because this was during the time of Forge World, where Games Workshop would create stuff, give it rules, give it artwork, but yeah, never actually decided to release anything. Hell, I'm not even sure if there was a tester model ever done for this. All we do know is it would have been incredible, a giant scarab, and by giant I mean absolutely ginormous. It would have been on a 100 by 150 base, unless something got a little bit larger, but that's the same base size as most dragons, the big ones, the Terrorgeist, and also the Dread Saurian. It would have definitely added a lot of flavor to the Tomb Kings to get a really big construct in there. The only problem is, I think it's just not going to happen. Now we've got the Necrolith Bone Dragon, so it might be possible that the Khemric Titan has been put to rest. You never know for the future, however, as they have stated that, you know, there is chances that older units might return, or even some stuff that has never been released before, like for example the Bretonnian Paladin on foot with a squire, the one that everyone made fun of. I recently painted it up, it's a pretty cool model. It would be a massive shame if the Tomb Kings ended up without any Forge World centerpiece type of unit. I mean, it'd be fine if we got the Bone Dragon, but apparently Old World and Warhammer Fantasy, despite being set 200 years apart in the same universe, are separate IPs. Even though then when they go on the financial reports, Games Workshop says it's the same IP. Yeah, I know, it's really weird. But this is a Games Workshop problem, not Creative Assembly. There is something that we could actually get for the Vampire Coast, which was in Dreadfleet, a Bone Hydra. Yep, so basically using the same animations and rig as a few things, obviously with a few changes, but a Bone Hydra could be kind of cool. A nice big, kind of fastish monster. Hydras are fairly decent. The idea here is giving something to the Vampire Coast because, well, it just kind of feels a little bit empty. It's something that could happen if they ever decide to do like a units pack or something, you know, some units for everyone else. And yes, this is a reskin unit, but, well, yeah, no, the Vampire Coast was just a 6th edition supplement. They never had a full army book. I do believe that we might eventually see one for the Old World, but that's so far down the line when they eventually get down to Lustria, if they ever get to Lustria, that it could just be 15, 20 years from now, depending on how fast they go. I just don't see it happening. We could be proven wrong, though. And I'll be very honest with you, nothing comes to mind for the Dark Elves. Pretty much everything has been covered for them, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I don't think they've got DLC potential unless new units come into the limelight. I doubt that that's going to be a thing. They had a lot of attention in Warhammer 2, so I very much doubt that they're going to get a lot of attention in Warhammer 3, barring maybe something in a character pack, but yeah. I mean, I'm happy with the Dark Elves overall. They just need a proper rework at some point. Not really missing that much content. A legendary hero would be nice. Maybe they could just go with that. Shadowblade would be cool. But there's nothing missing in terms of units at this point. Now, I do want to mention that at some point there were rumors that maybe they wanted to do like the whole Avatar of Cain situation for Warhammer Fantasy, as there is a thing in 40k, it would have been reusable, or they would have just used the standing T-posing one from the kit in Warhammer Fantasy. But it doesn't really fit with the whole kind of gameplay theme that the Dark Elves had. I saw a lot of people wanting it for the tabletop too, but it seriously just doesn't fit. Maybe someone can come up with a better idea there, but I do feel like the Dark Elves are functionally done, barring just some updates. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. I will be live on twitch.tv/thegreatbook of Grudges today, as I will be trying to finish off my achievement hunting for Warhammer 3. Doing Norska today. That's going to be fun. No mods. Fun. See you guys. Have a great one.